September 19th governorship election in Edo State comes with a lot of promises and perils for the political legacy of President Muhammadu Buhari. Less is unaware his claims to a lasting positive legacy for the All Progressives Congress APC and dependent largely on the outcome of the Edo ne Ondo elections. Alas, it is almost common knowledge that where he is not directly affected, President Muhammadu Buhari can be patiently detached while maintaining a grand canon of distance. But there is fire on the mountain in Edo State, and with the election a few days away, the president needs to shed that past toga of detachment and adorn the garb of pragmatic proactiveness. This is because the battle for the heart and soul of the state is not just between Godwin Obaseki, the People's Democratic Party (PDP), and APC's Pastor Sage Ize-Iyamu. Several powerful forces are tugging at the soul of the state for different pecuniary or political reasons. As a candidate, Ize-Iyamu has run a good campaign so far. He has creditably sold his simple, which is security and social welfare infrastructure development, manpower development, public and private partnership, leadership by example, and employment creation agenda to the electorate, who now perceives him as a cut above the rest, the one who can liberate them from the shackles of underdevelopment and misgovernance exemplified by the incumbent. As someone who is also firmly rooted in the politics of the state, he has also clearly debunked insinuations in several quarters that if he emerged governor, he would be under the shadows and vice-like grip of former governor Adams Oshiomole. What many don't know or are deliberately glossing over is that Ize-Iyamu has been in politics at the local and national level longer than Oshiomole. In 1999, upon the return of democratic government in Abuja, Ize-Iyamu was appointed as the chief of staff to then governor of Edo State, Dr. Lucky Nusahari Igbenedion. During Igbenedion's second term, he was elevated to the post of secretary to the state government (SSG). All this while, Oshiomole was a mere activist and labor leader, serving as president of the Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC). Ize-Iyamu later served as national vice chairman, South-South Zone of the defunct Action Congress of Nigeria, one of the legacy parties that formed the APC. Because of his understanding of of Edo political terrain and familiarity with the people, Ize-Iyamu was appointed the Director General of Oshomole's second-term campaign organization, and he delivered. So Ize-Iyamu is no neophyte in politics or a yo-yo that can be tossed about by any person masquerading as a godfather. This is a fact that has yet to be clearly understood by some frontline members of the APC, especially many of the sitting governors and senators, who see Obaseki's denial of a second-term ticket as the handiwork of Oshiomole. This is the crux of the matter. Until recently, Oshiomole was the chairman of the APC. He piggybacked and bankrolled Obaseki's emergence as governor in 2016. Before that time, Obaseki served in Oshomole's administration as chairman of the Economic and Strategy team. The former governor introduced Obaseki into politics because all his life he had been in the private sector as a financial expert and chairman, founder of Afrin Vest West Africa Limited, formerly Securities Transactions and Trust Company Limited, which has grown to become a reputable investment banking and management firm in Nigeria. So Obaseki can legitimately be called Oshomole's political godson. There's no debating that. Their common song, however, became a byword when they fell apart over allegations that Obaseki had become imperious and power drunk. A case in point was his constitutional refusal to inaugurate the House of Assembly in 2019 because he perceived that his predecessor had more loyalists there than he does, which he felt would affect him also. That issue stagnated legislative activities in the state since last year, necessitating the intervention of President Buhari and the National Assembly. The Assembly is still a divided house, thereby denying the people quality legislative representation. Last June, Obaseki defected to the PDP, where he was offered a governorship ticket at the detriment of other aspirants. Many incumbent governors fingered Oshiomole as being responsible for this defection and went all out to have him removed. As the reports go, a delegation of angry APC governors met with the president and presented to him three requests, one of which was Oshomole's removal, dissolution of the National Working Committee, and the constitution of a caretaker committee headed by Maimala Bone, the governor of Yobe State. All of these were granted. The president never made any request of the governors. In fact, reports say that they were shocked that he acceded to all their requests. Like the president noted in June during the inauguration of the caretaker committee, he said it is obvious that the fortunes of the party are currently in jeopardy. Administration of our party is becoming impossible, and there is consequently an urgent need for intervention to immediately arrest further drifts and internal wrangling, which may lead to total disintegration. Those issues are still omnipresent in the party. Beneath the patina of cohesion put up by the APC leadership, however, there is a simmering animosity and disconnect that can only be remedied by the president. Some APC governors are still sympathetic to Obaseki and are supporting his re-election bid on the PDP platform with an unwritten agreement that if he won, he would return to the APC. Really? The APC governor's support for him is deemed a reprisal at Oshiomole, who they fear might want to stage a return to the leadership of the party. They don't want him back, neither do they want Ize-Iyamu to win because of the Oshiomole factor. It is a dicey situation that does not bode well for the party in the long run. So how does quid pro quo work for the president? It is now time for the president to ask a favor of the governors, which is for them to close ranks and ensure that they not only win Edo State, they do so convincingly and move on to Ondo State, which governorship election is in October. He must call the aggrieved governors to order by discouraging and denouncing their apparent anti-party activities, speak to their collective conscience, probably make them swear to an oath of allegiance if that would help whip them into line and commit them to work for the party and Ize-Iyamu. Failure to do so now could have a blotch on whatever legacy the president might want to lay claim to after his stewardship in office. Wow. This article is written by Alfred, a communication analyst. Okay. Well, I don't know what you guys think about this article written by Alfred, this particular writer. I think he has really made a lot of sense if you can really look at the whole thing objectively and holistically. And one thing is that just like with the background of everything, it's not as if Ize-Iyamu cannot really pull through. But this Oshiomole factor, that's what the problem. That is where the problem is. And even if you look at the terrain in Edo State, because of Oshomole's factor, majority of the people are like, no, end to godfatherism. And invariably, if he comes, no matter how we look at it, no matter how this writer presents it, that of course Ize-Iyamu has been on ground, he has been a politician before, long before Oshiomole came in. But the way Oshiomole came in, the way it seems, you want to agree, yes, it's Oshiomole that is like godfather or whatever. And that is the narrative that is being sold there. If you look deep down, you know that this man, this gentleman, Ize-Iyamu, has been in politics long before Oshiomole. But just at the facial level, you could say, oh yes, Oshiomole is trying to pull through. Oshiomole is this kind of person that is always seen, maybe because the way he talks, because the way he's always want to be heard. So you just like, oh yes, or maybe because of the especially this position he had as Labour chairman. So one would now like to say, okay, maybe this man is not the godfather, but in the real sense, it might not be so. Well, for the president to do the needful, he's always not taking decision on time until something or things have become or things have deteriorated. That is when you hear him or see him take action, and that time a lot of things must have gone. Of course, there's no doubt that a lot of PDP, APC's governors are sympathetic to this governor, the incumbent governor. But let's see how it's going to turn out, because we don't even know where the whole thing is going to turn, because I don't know whether the real federal might is even Oshiomole and Ize-Iyamu are really getting it all that. And coupled with the fact that the governors too, APC governors too, are not even in support, all that, everybody just trying to play to the gallery. So guys, leave your comment below and let us know whether the president is going to do the needful or not.